job.
Mind you, somebody who isn't going to work this morning is one Dame Natwest, I call her.
Alison Rose, Crap West.
I'll tell you what, we were on the talk last night, surprisingly. I didn't find out I was on it with you until literally an hour before we went on.
True.
And we said, did we not, last night, she's going to be gone by the end of the week. I didn't realise she was going to be gone by 2 o'clock in the morning.
I tweeted yesterday, and I spoke to Richard Tice last night. I said, is it just me, or are Natwest and Alison Rose the last people in Britain who don't realise Alison Rose is gone by tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they announced full confidence in this woman who goes round revealing the personal financial details of customers to a BBC hack.
Yes.
And she retains our full confidence. How
could they say that?
Who's running this bank? Absolute half-wits. And now Nigel Farage, the man at the centre of this storm, quite rightly in my view, is calling for the Coutts chief executive Peter Flavell to walk the plank.
He seems to have dodged all the fire so far.
And also the man who said she retains our full confidence, the NatWest chairman, Howard Davis. I think I'm right in saying that NatWest is the biggest bank in this country.
I think it's one of the biggest banks in the world.
So my question is, why are these banks so earth-shatteringly useless? And the answer, in my view, is because they value wokery over efficiency and common sense governance.
Yes.
This bank is not being run properly.
But also they've become so obsessed with Brexit that they think Nigel Farage is literally public enemy #1 because he led the charge and led the campaign to leave the European Union. Never mind the fact that the majority of people in this country actually voted for it. They say he's got very controversial views. Well, no, he hasn't. He's got the same views as more than half of the people in this country. It's as simple as that.
But it seems to me that no one in absolutely, Mike, totally agree. And it seems to be that no one in NatWest or Coutts has ever looked in the mirror and said, are we right to politically persecute customers? Any bank that decides, yes, that is right, needs to go out of business.
Well, exactly
it is not right to persecute people for their political views. You might not like what Nigel Farage thinks. I happen to, actually.
Well, funny enough, not only is it not right, I was listening to Bob Seeley MP last night on First Edition, and he was saying that not only has she actually breached the confidentiality of the bank and its relationship with its customers, but she may have actually broken the law, because there is a law, which is an EU law, ironically, which says that you cannot discriminate against people based on their political views in any banking scenario. So she might have actually broken the law.
I don't think you can discriminate against anyone in any area of life for legal political views.
But what they were saying...
There's a law
under terms of the Equalities Act, supposedly political views are not protected, if you know what I mean. So, it's not like having a go at somebody because of their race or because of their gender. But in this case, it is against the law, according to Bob Seeley, for the bank to have done what they did. And she may be culpable.
So somebody tweeted me saying, well, I'm a NatWest customer, and now they got rid of that Farage. I'm really pleased. I said, what about the 10,000 other people whose accounts they've cancelled? It'll be you next, you absolute moron.
Yes. Now,
by the way...
I'm going to give you an opportunity, because apparently your poncho is interfering with your microphone, so just rip it off, get rid of it. That's it. There you go. That's what I think of the NHS. Thanks very much.
I've always wanted to do the Mike Graham with the Guardian. Yay!
There you go. Let's also point out that under the great auspices of this woman, Dame NatWest, as I like to call her, back in 2021, NatWest was fined $265 million for failing to stop drugs gangs laundering bin bags full of cash through their branches. So, hello, they're not exactly the greatest bank in the world.
Hey, Dame Alison, have a nice retirement. Try to be a little less useless in your retirement than you were when you were in your career. By the way, good to hear what Keir Starmer thinks.
What has he said?
I know, absolutely nothing. His silence is deafening. I'll tell you why, because although he knows that what NatWest and Coutts did to Nigel Farage is fundamentally wrong, he cannot bring himself to support Nigel Farage.
This is his big weakness, isn't it? He's so worried about upsetting people in his own party that he would look, because he might look as if he was sympathetic to Nigel Farage, the racist, as they think of him. It's pathetic, isn't it? How can you want to be Prime Minister of this country and yet not talk about the biggest story of the week?
And it's because Nigel Farage is anathema to Labour. They think, well, if it's him, then whatever happens to him is
quite
justified.
happy for it to happen.
Well, you've really got to rise above that if you're running a political party and you want to be the Prime Minister of this country.
You really
What
should.
happened to Nigel Farage was fundamentally, profoundly wrong. Banks must be stopped from behaving like this, making moral judgments about their customers, and if they don't, they need to be put out plan of business.
Exactly right.
And by the way, one last point. You know, what has Dame Alison, old Dame Woke, and woke NatWest and woke Coots, what have they discovered? Don't screw around with Nigel Farage. He has tied them up in knots.
Well, he's ripped them to shreds, hasn't he?
He really has.
I mean, they could actually collapse as a bank as a result of this.
More people will go. More people will go.
Oh, they'll have to.
Will
because
go.
let's before we finish on this, how, as you say, how did we go from them saying at sort of 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, everything's fine, absolutely no problem at all, we have perfect confidence, complete confidence in her, and then by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, they've had a meeting and she's gone. What changed? I wonder.
Well, I think they first of all they saw the first editions of the newspapers. They saw what was going on social media. They saw what people were saying, and it's not just a lot of professional big mouths like you and me, ordinary people.
Yeah.
You know, people in all walks of life were tweeting and Facebook just saying, this is out, this is just
did they... Well, let me ask you another question, another way. Did they seriously think that by telling her to come out and admit to being the leak, that would be the end of it?
Yeah.
Is that how thick they are?
Yeah, and then this guy, Howard Davis, the NatWest chairman, good luck with your retirement as well, Howard, and Peter Flavor, what are you going to do when you're out of work? But seriously, he then says, she made a very serious error of judgment, and we certainly might punish her a bit, but she retains our full confidence.
Yeah, might be reflected in the £5 million salary that we pay her at the end.
£5 million.
£5 million. Somebody made a very good point this morning, actually, on David Bull's show. Talking about, whenever we ask these people, why are you paying these people this much money, they always say, oh, well, we need to get talented people. We need to get the sort of people, that the private sector would like to have in any other job. Yeah. Well, she's not very talented. Yeah. She's not very good. I wouldn't give her £5, never mind £5 million for a year.
Well, Keir Starmer's hired that Sue Gray as the...
she's full of integrity.
Well, he'll now hire Dame Alison Rose because she's woke. Ridiculous.
Yes.